Hey guys, welcome. I'm Tracy. This is my channel, Tracy from the Mermaid Cove, and we're going to talk about what's in my library book bag. Yes, we are. This is for Gayle. So, working in a library and seeing all the books returned or what people are checking out is heaven. Honestly, is heaven. And I'm at a new library and I like to do displays, and so I've been looking at their collection, and it's twice the size I think of where I work normally. So it's been so much fun to find different books, and but so this is a stack that I've been looking at and trying to decide. I've been reading a lot of fiction, easy fiction. I like to call it easy, cozy, lighthearted fiction. No, there's a little drama, but nothing like heart wrenching drama, life changing drama, none of that. So let me just go through this, and it's a variety of stuff. So this one's called Death in Dark Blue: A Writer's Apprentice Mystery. Julia Buckley. I think this is number two. A Dark and Stormy Murder was her first one in this series. And I can't remember. I remember loving the first one, like where she goes to help a novelist be her assistant and research and stuff like that, and of course things happen, but they're really fun. Of course there's like showing two dogs and a cat, which is always good. Where are you, Clara? You want to come up? Clara wants to say hi. Come on, baby. So yeah, just a paperback. So I probably will read this. I love the first one. I'm sure she's written more, but I have to read. You okay? Are you sneezing? I have to read my series in order, y'all. I just do. And this one looked kind of interesting. The Girl Who Reads on the Metro. Christina Ferru. I don't know. I'm not good at my French. But I have no idea what it's about. I love the size, and I love a little book. My bookmarks. So yeah. So I think I'm gonna keep this one. I love that cover, and I'm into little books right now. So this one is a Tea by the Sea mystery. The first one. What's this now? Tea and Treachery by Vicki Delaney. She's done a lot of different cozy things. But it's in Cape Cod. Just love the cover. So I love to try the first ones and see if I like them or not. And really, it's a couple-hour read. It's not huge. And this one, The X Hex by Erin Sterling. Somebody I used to work with told me about it. She was just fun, and I love magical realism. Love it, love it, love it. So she gave this a good review. A spooky romantic comedy treat that has me sighing at one page, laughing out loud at the next. The perfect book for all. So what I may do is wait closer to October. Um, and I usually get books that aren't super popular, like there's no waiting list, that kind of thing. Generally, but like I got the new Jennifer Grey biography, and I had holes on it, so I finished it. It was interesting because I love Dirty Dancing. Like I saw it 12, 13 times, maybe more at the theater. It was a time in my life that just uplifted you and it gave you hope. And I don't know, it was just so much fun in the music. But if you like, it's her story is super interesting. I mean, what a childhood. And because she changed her nose, and she said after Dirty Dancing, she was still needed to wait tables, and she was too famous. She made no money off that movie, and that's terrible that she didn't get anything else. Honestly, if these studios are making I know anyway. Why wouldn't you give someone a bonus? But anyway, but she said she had a little bump, some bump on her nose removed, and she started getting all these great parts. And she was shooting a movie, and some cartilage was coming out, so she went back to the doctor to have that fixed, and he redid her whole nose without her wanting it, expressly telling him she's in the middle of a movie, she cannot do anything. And it changed her life, and couldn't get cash. She didn't. It really derailed her life. And you think about it, she's really not been in anything. And then she dated Matthew Broderick. Wow, what a interesting. And it's not like she's salacious or telling. She's just telling her, how she interprets things and her responsibility in that. But Jennifer Grey, I think it's called Out of the Corner or something, but it was good. But that had holes, so I had to finish it. I love me some Patrick Swayze. So this is called Antiques to Die For, Jane K. Cleland. Let's see, and this is a Josie Prescott Antiques mystery. This is the third, I think. Yeah, Consigned to Death is the first one, and Deadly Appraisal. Now they're older. This one's 2008. And like we only have like one or two copies left in our system, so I try to read these when I get them because if there's only two copies and five people want it, you got to keep on that. But I just like her. She's in my short term. That's okay. My short term memory is not what I would like it to be, but she's in New Hampshire, and I don't know. I just either you like the characters or you don't, and I do. So, and she's written a lot. Like I think there's 12 more books, something like that. So anyway, got that one. And this looked kind of interesting. Growing Old, Notes on Aging with Something Like Grace by Elizabeth Marshall Thomas. So this is nonfiction. And on here, Cy Montgomery. You can see that. If you should, her books are amazing. She started off writing nonfiction for children on nature, animals, and stuff. And she wrote The Soul of an Octopus, which you guys, I could not read. It's beautifully written, but octopuses the experience with people is unbelievable. But her books are really interesting. So now I can't think of another one title, but if you Cy Montgomery. But anyway, so I don't know. This just looked kind of interesting. Yeah, she's written a lot of books about animals and. But yeah, I just she doesn't really have a thing. But I just thought that'd be interesting, right? Something Like Grace. That's why I'm giving myself Something Like Grace. She's 88 when she wrote it. So yeah, so that I love nonfiction, and I listen to nonfiction. So did I start this and not finish? I think I did. So Susan Cain, I think that was in my other one, y'all. But her new book is Bittersweet. I'm listening to it, and it's just so deep, so interesting, and it's about longing, and it's that life is bittersweet. But it's interesting when I was taking a lot of art workshops and stuff like that. A lot of the teachers, the cool teachers, would play music. It was always depressing to me, but she talks about how melancholy music, what it does for you. It's just fascinating. But Bittersweet by Susan Cain, you will not regret. And this I just grabbed, so I'm not sure. Good Eggs, Rebecca Hardiman. Um, it's just the novel is sheer delight, a joyous, exuberantly fun-filled, bracing, hilarious, and warm, pure, unadulterated reading pleasure. That's what I like. Pure, unadulterated reading pleasure. So I am not sure, but I'll have to let you know if I read it. It's a little bigger than what I've been wanting to read, but that's okay. And then I have gotten a guide to iMovie, The Missing Manual. So I've been trying to work on that. Yeah, like I said, there's just certain things I want to learn to do. I can make it. I do everything in iMovie now, so I don't have to like download it and then upload it and all that nonsense. I do that. But yes, I've just been kind of cruising it, and then YouTube for dummies, YouTube channels for dummies, right? So okay, but sometimes like I was looking like how to do a clickable link, and it doesn't really explain to you how you do a clickable link. It talks about a clickable link, but so yeah. So anyway, that is what's in my library book bag. So what are y'all reading? What do you have? What are you waiting for on hold, or what's on your bedside, or what do you have that you haven't gotten to? I love that. Like sometimes there's a book and I keep putting it to the bottom, and then I read it and I'm like, why didn't I read that right away? Why? But that's just a sampling. What I have at home, not what I have on my desk. Every day I probably get 10 books to look at lunch and decide if I should bring them home. I tend to at work because I can't start reading at work because it's agony to have to stop. But I love children's nonfiction. Maybe I'll bring a bunch of children's nonfiction home to show you guys. They are so wonderful, and I've been putting them out on the adult display. They're just so well done, and they're fun to look at, and there's pictures. And I've been loving some picture books. Maybe I'll do that. I'll put together a compilation of some picture books I'm loving right now that you can get from your library. There's one about avocado. God, I can't remember. It's new. Avocado. It's all about. It's like avocado. It's just one more word on. Wow, it's okay. I accept that my memory's not. It is what it is, right? I know who I am. That's sorta. That's good. But it's basically an avocado. Am I a fruit or am I a vegetable? What am I? And there's a spork. Am I a spoon or am I a fork? What am I? But the message is you're you, and it doesn't matter what. You don't have to label yourself one thing or another. You're an avocado. You're a spork. So the message is very deep on a level, and that's how I hope society can change is by kids reading this. It's normalized, it's something to have a reference to. But yeah, I remember when the first books about divorce, weekends with dad, or Tuesday nights with dad, and that's how it sort of normalizes things, or makes it something you've heard of. But there's been some amazing illustrators too, you guys. It's, if you're out and you just have a day and you go to Barnes and Nobles or the library. I prefer the library myself, but Barnes and Nobles, and just look at all the new children's books. I mean, just sit there grab some, go get your coffee, sit down, and just spend time looking at the new books, the nonfiction, the fiction. I mean, fiction I don't read as much. If someone says, "Oh my gosh, this is great," but I do love. Maybe I'll have to do some of my favorite children's fiction too, which adults would like. And I have certain customers that I put things on hold for, and they'll laugh and say, "You gave me this, right?" I was like, "Of course." But there's one called On the Front, and it's about Claire Barton, and it's just touched me. I read it early in the week, and I've just been moved and thinking about it. Now we all know Claire Barton, well, especially because she's from the area where I work. There's a Claire Barton highway or parkway and all this stuff, but and she was this amazing human being who went into the field to help during Antietam. But it's so haunting and it's so beautifully done. And one thing I didn't remember or I learned is one of the things she did, she helped find missing soldiers. Like, so many people had no idea what happened to their loved one. And I think the statistic is like 44,000 people died in Andersonville, the terrible Confederate prison in Georgia, I think. And I think, if I remember correctly, don't hold me to it, that they found her team. Obviously, she had a team, but they found like 22,000 people. Just think 22,000 families had closure. God forbid, but also the way being a woman, and how she really commanded respect from the people around her. I mean, we're talking about surgeons and soldiers, and she had a team of men that would die for her and helped her. And she wasn't going on the battlefield and carrying wounded back. They did that, but they protected her. And I would love to really read historical fiction about that and who these men were. But yeah, on the front, but it's about Claire Barton. I can't remember the author. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I hope you guys would like it. I don't know. I would like to see that. So yeah, I'm gonna work on those things, especially for Gayle, who loves this and found me from really started following me because of my bag of books from my garage. But yeah, it's interesting because my channel is not really growing, and I was at 332, and I'm at 329, and it matters and it doesn't matter, right? Like I love the people who I comment with, and it's so wonderful. But part of me does want to grow my channel, and but you never know what it is. But like someone said, if you just did Trader Joe's or Hall's, your channel will grow. And I'm like, but that's not what my channel is, right? It's not a Trader Joe's Hall channel. It's not just this. It's just not that. And that I know is hurting me and is going to take longer to grow. But that's what I want it to be. It's really about me. So, and maybe if there's only 330 people on the planet want to hear about me, that's okay too. But I do have moments because I'm human and vain, and just think, like, yeah, I was watching this girl, and I'm like, she's 11,000. I mean, but people like to watch young girls, so. But I just think YouTube is such a cool thing that no matter what walk of life you're in, where you live, you have a camera, you have a phone, you have internet connection, and you can share your story, you can share what you're interested in, and people can make a living from it or get extra money, And my dream would be get extra money to buy fun things to try for you guys. That really truly would be awesome. But for now, I'll just pick and choose and share what I do get. And yeah, but so thank you guys. I hope you pretty. What are you wait? What is the book you're dying to read? Like, is it coming out or have you been on hold at the library? So I'm me tell you. So there's a book called Crying in H Mart. It's biography. I think the woman is a Chinese singer, because it's interesting because in the Dewey Decimal System, a biography, most biographies are biography, but if it's about like an entertainer or a sports person, a lot of times they're in that section, right? So, but because I thought, but she's in the like the music kind of section, 792, 98, something like that. But this book has been out for a while, and it's still got holds. The word of mouth is insane on this book. So, Crying in H Mart. So I decided it's not a big book, so I thought I'm going to listen to this book, and so now we're talking. Libby is what I use, what most libraries use. Free app, y'all. If you don't want to even go in and out of the library, go and get your card, and you have all kinds of online stuff. It's amazing. But I put it on hold, and there's like I'm like 299 or something. It's like wow, and that's unusual. That's not so. It's gonna take weeks, which is fine. Because a lot of times people have already read it or they don't want it. It moves quickly. But yeah, so I just thought Crying in H Mart. Have any of y'all read it or I haven't had a conversation with anyone that read it, but it's just constantly on hold. Which those things sort of they come, they ebb and they flow, and then like a movie comes out or somebody writes another book. Like Colleen Hoover, Hoover. Apparently, there's something called Book Talk, TikTok, Book Talk, something like that. I'm gonna check into that. Apparently, she went viral because of that, and so now her backlist and everything is you can't get a hold of it. But I love stuff like that. That's so cool. Like, what is it that helps someone really move to that kind of level? So I should look at Book Talk. That might be kind of fun. I'm taking a course on doing reels, and from day one, there's plagued with issues. And so right now, I was getting so frustrated. It's a free class. I'll have a whole nother week through the end of next weekend to work on it. It's a free class, right? Robin Marie Smith. I talked about this somewhere on Instagram. Follow her. She's an artist. Roben Marie Smith. But she's lovely, a lovely person. I really wanted to interact with her in lifetime, but I'll take something else from her. But you had to use this thing called Canva, and I was like, oh yeah, I have it. It's some weird login and some an email I would never have chosen, and not something the computer would have chosen. So I don't know what that's about. Freaked me out. It took me out an hour and a half to figure out how the hell do I delete it all, like not just from my but delete it so I had nothing, like it was just gone. So by the time I did all that, I was so frustrated. So thought, you know what, Tracy? Okay, this is fun. You don't have to do reels. You can take a class like this again. And Robin Marie Smith has a lot of because her thing is some of these things are so dumb. These reels, or music or people dancing, being goofy. She's like, we can do things that are fun and interesting and showcase your art or whatever it is you want to do. But she also has things about lighting and microphones and stuff like that. So I'm learning a lot anyway. But I'm gonna work on that on Sunday. Sunday, I think is my day. I'm gonna run around town and then come home and just do art all day. So that's my thing. But anyway, I'm now off the topic of books from my garage. So those of you who are still here, I appreciate you. And if you're new, say hi, check in, let me know where you're from. I love that. It's my favorite. I always answer my comments. But yeah, so I'll see you again with maybe a bag of books from my garage.